The bottom line is, I believe, I obviously can't prove this yet, but I believe we're getting to the end of this acclimation period. I think that your
Boston revelation
activities and ours over the last 20-some years have been part, if, shall we say, unsupported. Because, again, why do we have these
UFO diaries?
Face on Mars.
photographs?
Right.
If we didn't have the photographs, Gary, we wouldn't have a thing to talk about. You and I would be sitting here and discussing the shape of Ichthyosaurus or something else.
Right.
We would not be talking about ruins on Mars.
UFO diaries. In the region designated as Sidonia.
Exactly.
It's only because of people like
Chuck Selye.
Think about this. What better way to put the real stuff out there than to have a guy
Richard Hoagland, a member of our team of intelligence.
who says, over my dead body will I ever take a picture of
UFO diaries.
Sidonia? It's the most photographed area on Mars
UFO diaries.
of
Chuck Selye.
cameras of any missions that have ever gone there. There's a huge gap between the words and the music, and follow the music, forget the words.
Faces in the window, noises in the night.
Right.
Forget that no one is saying officially,
EnterpriseMission.com.
oh my God, there's ruins.
UFO diaries.
Photographs are there. For the first time on the air, an astronaut
Richard Hoagland, a member of our team of intelligence.
who was a member of the military admitted photographs are there.
While they give us so much, why isn't it still, even what we're seeing, a thing of national security? This is, like, again, just cheese. It's already under control by black ops.
Well, how this all evolves is anybody's guess.
Well, you see where I'm going, though, right, Cap?
You know. But remember, we're also getting to the limit of when we monopolize a scenario.
Uh-huh.
the Martian revelators
Are now developing vigorous, technically mature
Martian revelation
Mysterious pictures.
space programs, and they are going to the moon.
Mr. Hoagland, is your face on Mars any more real than the man on the moon? So that's why it's a very dangerous thing, and it's not like the vision. Chuck Selye, production artist extraordinaire, producer of the UFO Diaries, I believe, was trying to portray of what the message is and
UFO Diaries.
how we ought to address this.
I mean, I've spent my life on world mysteries, so I'm willing to investigate this further and see what we can find. My day starts at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm never tired of it. To this day, I get up at 3:30 every morning, and obviously I'm still talking to you this minute at night. No, but again, I mean, you're talking 13 years.
I know.
Several of my crew members have died. I mean,
Right.
none of us are very young anymore.
I see.
I mean, I've spent my life on world mysteries, so I'm willing to investigate this further and see what we can find. It's all of the different predictions from just about every
UFO Diaries.
culture, and try to make some sense of it and put it all together into an end-time scenario of what the picture is being painted that's going to happen.
Well, it's more closer bound to the scenario that I published in Monuments, where I talked about that the worst scenario would be if it was a race with each party kind of in competition for the surprise at the end.
Richard Hoagland, a member of our team of intelligence.
Mars revealer.
I mean, can you imagine
EnterpriseMission.com.
Brother!
if we're looking, which I firmly believe we are tonight, if we're looking at the remains of an ancient, incredibly high-tech, advanced civilization,
Definitely.
both on Mars,
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Sidonia.
can you imagine the advantage that would accrue to the nation or nations that gets there first and bring back hardware or documents or libraries or information or weapons or
Right.
some kind of technology, which of course is the scenario that I was very concerned about back in the
UFO Diaries.
when I was doing the first studies of these objects and realizing that it would be really the worst scenario if this all happened in high competition at the height of the
EnterpriseMission.com.
Martian revelation
UFO Diaries.
war.
Our technology could be just a lot smarter than we think it is.
Right.
Which is why we did some very special things to provide the
Mars revealer
with data,
Martian revelation
through one of the
UFO Diaries.
presidential advisors. And all of this is described
Martian revelation
Mysterious pictures.
in great detail. It's called
UFO Diaries.
second-track diplomacy.
The Martian Revelator.
Determined that we would not be blindsided by
Richard Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence,
zipping off to Mars
UFO diaries, in the region designated as Sidonia,
in secret and suddenly announcing to the world, well, you know, we've got weapons that you can't even match.
Mars Revealer.
So, you know, just call it quits.
Right.
That's the quickest way to ignite an
EnterpriseMission.com,
Martian Revelation.
nuclear war that I can imagine. Now, unfortunately, it looks like as we move into the next decade of the 21st century, with
Mars Revealer.
announcing they're going to the
UFO diaries, in the region designated as Sidonia,
we may be in another
UFO diaries,
space race. In fact, I'm trying to remember who said, oh, I know who said that we're in a
UFO diaries,
space race. The
Martian Revelator. If you're a little more radical.
The Martian Revelation.
who just basically called for a
EnterpriseMission.com,
congressional hearing on the
UFO diaries,
Sputnik moment, which is what he called it,
Yep.
that could be coming up vis-a-vis
EnterpriseMission.com,
if we do not get our act together
Richard Hoagland,
and, you know, get behind
The Martian Revelator.
and
Chuck Selye.
and
Lee Shackelford.
plan
Richard Hoagland,
to go back to the
UFO diaries, in the region designated as Sidonia,
I agree.
It is inconceivable to me
EnterpriseMission.com,
astronauts could not have seen some of what we've seen. And what we have been doing,
Mars Revealer.
in part, as this research has unfolded, is to go back to the original
Richard Hoagland,
Martian Revelation.
transcripts and try to figure out from the air to ground what it was that they may have said that would give us a clue. Because some of this stuff,
EnterpriseMission.com,
if you look out the
UFO diaries,
window with a monocular or a binocular,
in the region designated as Sidonia,
you should have seen a clue, beginning with
The planet Mars is next to our own, the fourth world counting out from the sun.
That's why the episode that you see is the way it is, because suddenly there was this script with these big holes in it, all these things that Dr. Hoagland was supposed to say. So now the guys at the studio were now scrambling to try to find ways to cover the same material just so the show would cut together, just so the things that had already been shot would connect to each other. Without our voice of authority there.
Buttress, Richard Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence,
Dick.
Head,
They had to invent a character who's guessing.
Accessing data. Affirmative.
The Martian Revelator. If you're a little more radical.
Well, who caught this? I mean, I'm thinking about how many people working on the show looked at these pictures.
I did. It seems to be I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And well, hey, all these years later, all the power, right?
Yeah. But that's yeah. But I think that's something to be proud of. That's a keen eye.
Richard Hoagland,
a member of our team,
The sack of guts. Why?
EnterpriseMission.com,
We look like a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys bragging on our own.
Dick.
Hoagland.
a member of our team of intelligence,
And that's the goddamn problem right there. People think this
Mars Revealer.
got fresh ideas. He's old current. We're the past. It's a problem of perception. That's right. Reason why he's pulling our pants down. Gonna paddle a little beehive. Ain't gonna paddle it. Gonna kick it real hard. No, I believe he's gonna paddle it. I don't believe that's a proper description. Well, that's how I'd characterize it. I believe it's more of a kicking situation.
So it looks as if we're seeing the assembly of the engines, the mechanisms, the technology for the second age of
The Martian Revelation.
which, frankly, I think will be for the prize, which is at the end of that very long road, namely the technological fallout of the incredible civilizations which went before and left ruins all over the
UFO diaries,
solar system. And you won't hear that anywhere else but here.
That's right, the Martian Revelation.
For a while. But if I'm right, Gary, you are about to become, good God, mainstream.
Well, you know where I'm at, parked, Richard, and but I'll tell you what, my flag's still standing. I'm fighting this to the end. I've made pledges to everybody, to myself. You can't get back into a bubble. You can't stop being who you are supposed to be and what you're supposed to do, no matter what you're involved in.
but you have got to be true to yourself.